This is the Andu Kedei Show.
Welcome to another episode of the show of the podcast. The third week of the NBA is closing in today. This is Sunday. So, a lot of things happened. We had some drama. We had some controversy. We had some OT games, injuries, bad news for teams, good news for teams. So, yeah, today we will cover that. Let's start first of all with what might happen pretty often this season. And I think it was the first time actually it happened last night. Because of the health and safety protocols, the Philadelphia 76ers had to play with like 7 men. Remember Seth Curry got sick last week. Embiid and Simmons were out with some injuries. And they played with 7 people. 2 of them being veterans like Dwight Howard, Danny Green. And Tyrese Maxey balled out. I mean, he played 44 points. It looked like my career game, you know, when you first develop your player. And obviously you want to get all the touches. 39 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. And I think after the first week of the NBA, I talked about this kid, this rookie. He looked pretty good. Obviously, he's not going to be the focal point of the offense with Simmons and Embiid there. But he looked pretty good. And yeah, okay, he played 44 minutes. He had 39 points, but he did it pretty efficiently too. 15 of 25 from the 2-point and 3 out of 8 for the 3-point. Yeah, he shooted the ball 33 times this match, but this is what you wanted. He's a guard, you know. Doc Rivers joked before the start of the game saying, yeah, I guess we will just play Dwight Howard at point guard. I mean, obviously, you don't like to see this. The game was pretty close, guys. 12-point games. A 12-point game. Without, 7 men on the roster available to play. And Doug Rivers said that, yeah, he really doesn't want to play. And obviously, I think we can all agree, but this is how the protocols are. And you don't want to get into a situation where you really have to postpone a lot of games due to this. It's just one game. No, it sucks. They are still the number 1 seed, tied with Boston. Jason Tatum started to play a little bit better. I mean, yeah, in the first game of the season, he hit a game winner, guys. I didn't forget that. But for the first 4 or 5 games, Jaylen Brown looked better, in my opinion. Now Tatum is going to be a problem. The Boston Celtics are going to be the problem. Kemba is back. He's been cleared for practice. So yeah, the trio of Boston Celtic basketball is back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in other news from the NBA last night, Trae Young played again. I mean, Hornets Atlanta. It was a very interesting game because LaMelo Ball balled out. He became the youngest player to earn a triple-double, 22 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists. And I don't want to sound cocky, but every time someone says something and thinks that the team should do something, because the team will be better, will function better, I'm proud of myself. I mean, I said LaMelo Ball should be getting more playing time. 32 minutes, look. Youngest player ever with a triple-double. He was close to that last game. Before that, he played against his brother, Lonzo, from the Pelicans. He destroyed him. I mean, neither of them had fantastic games, but LaMelo played much better. He was close to a triple-double then. I think he was 1 assist shy. He had the rebound and he had the points. So he's starting to have a better rookie campaign because started the season not on the best rhythm. And they won. They won against Atlanta. They are now the 8th seed. Remember, Atlanta started the season 3-0. Right now they are 4-5. I don't know what's happening. Trae Young, another disappointing game. 15 points. 0 of 5 from the 3-point range. 15 points. Some bad news for the Hawks fans as well. Bogdanovic went down. I mean, if you go and rewatch the play, his knee bent in a way. It was weird. I mean, I don't know what happened there. Speaking of Boston, just came out of my mind. I said that, yeah, they're getting Kemba back, but I saw the news yesterday that Tatum needs to quarantine himself. 10 to 14 days. I don't know how much basketball games, probably around 4 or 5, that he will miss. So that's not the greatest of the news for the Boston Celtics. But I think they'll be alright. I don't know if Kemba will come back to the court. Remember, he's been cleared for practice, so I don't know if he will come back to the court, but we will see. Another news last night, Indiana Phoenix. Phoenix won. They look incredible. Mikal Bridges, career high, 30-something points. Yeah, I don't want to say nothing about Phoenix right now because I think I already said multiple times, and they look phenomenal. They really look phenomenal. With Chris Paul, with Devin Booker, and the role players are, I think I said it a million times, I will keep saying it. They fit in perfectly with Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, Saric, Mikal Bridges. So it's unbelievable. Then, oh my god, I really hate to do this. Miami, Washington. So they lost again. Washington, I mean. And I think this was a pattern last season as well. They lost a lot of games, but it looked like every game they scored the ball. So they played zero defense and last season. And this season as well. Bradley Beal said they can't guard a parked car. Bradley Beal said that. Now again, they allowed 128 points, but they scored 124. And neither Beal or Westbrook were playing. A good game from the rookie, Deni Avdija. And he needs to be involved more in the offensive scheme for the Wizards because he can't be a spot-up shooter. Yeah, he can shoot okay-ish, some threes, but he's a very smart basketball player. He knows where to position himself. He can play the point guard ball handler, distributing the ball role. I really think he can do that. He showed this game without Westbrook. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists in 30 minutes. Tyler Hero with 31. Jimmy Butler, 1 assist shy of the triple-double. He's finally back. But man, this Washington team has been so disappointing. They are 2-8 right now, and it's still early. It's been 10 games, but a pattern is starting to develop. I mean, how long can we say it's still early? I think when we hit that 15-game mark, teams already got used to their new addition to the team, their new coach, whatever the changes have been. They need to play better. There is no excuse right now. There is really no excuse. San Antonio, Minnesota, man, the Minnesota Timberwolves look bad, and I really want to address this. So it was that season with Tom Thibodeau as their head coach, who, by the way, looks phenomenal on the Knicks. So Tom Thibodeau was their coach. They had Wiggins, Butler, and Towns. It was all the Jimmy Butler fiasco. They made the playoffs. This is the only time Towns made the playoffs. And I think he averaged 20-something points in that regular season. Now he's averaging under 20 points. D'Angelo Russell was an all-star with the Brooklyn. He also averaged 20-something points. I really started to love his game. That pick and roll, that shooting. He had the flow, the athleticism. He knew how to move. He could finish at the rim. In my mind, I really thought that, oh my god, this kid could be a problem in 2 or 3 years. Right now, he looks really, not really bad, but he didn't improve. And this is what this is what you expect from a young player, to improve every season. Malik Beasley is playing, the best basketball on this team. I know Towns and Russell average more points than him, but Towns didn't play that much, and they lost this game against the San Antonio Spurs. And remember, I said at the start of the season, are the Spurs finally done? Like, finally not trying to contend and try to rebuild? No! And they will probably never be with Popovich there and the culture that he implemented. They are 5-4 with some old heads on the team, some rookies, some young players. I don't know what went wrong. Timberwolves, 16 turnovers. Yeah, probably that went wrong. But they had more blocks, more rebounds, more assists, shooting the ball efficiently better than the San Antonio Spurs. DeRozan dropped 38. That's impressive. But they also lost, they lost Bryn Forbes. Yeah, I know he wasn't like their top 2 players, but he played. He was a good role player. They lost him. So I don't know what's going on with the Timberwolves, but things don't look good at all. You also had Milwaukee Cleveland last night. Sexton has not played, I think, in the last 2 or 3 matches or something like that. I don't know why. Did he get injured? I didn't see anything. Didn't see any news of that. Probably his injury is not that bad. The Bucks won. Giannis didn't play, but wasn't necessary. Then Dallas looking like a better team, starting to. I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. was lighting it up. 36 points, Trey Burke 29, Luka Doncic a triple-double. But he can't do this on his own. He needs, when Porzingis is not playing, he needs games like this from Tim Hardaway and Trey Burke. Maybe not necessarily 36 or 29, but Doncic had a 36 triple-double, I think, 2 games ago or 1 game ago. So they are waiting. They are waiting for Porzingis. What? So I think we will see this a lot. Talking about Kings Blazers right now from last night, we will see this a lot. Where because of the schedule, and because of the shortened season, and because of the virus, and yeah, we will see a lot of teams trying, maybe every now and then, every game, new lineups. This is a new lineup with the Kings have tried, with Tyrese Haliburton starting alongside De'Aaron Fox. Didn't look like it worked. I mean, oh my God. The leading scorer was Bagley with 15 points. Portland was by 30. And Little had a bad game. McCollum dropped 37. Dude, do you know, like, CJ McCollum journey? I mean, early in his career, he didn't get any playing time. It was embarrassing. Then he won Most Improved. Right now, he's the leading scorer for the Portland Trail Blazers. He's averaging more points than Damian Lillard. Nurkic is still not what we want him to be in order for Portland to make some noise in the playoffs. But he's coming. He's getting there. So that's all about matches from last night. Now let's talk about some teams. So I mentioned Philly, Boston. Nothing really to say about Indiana other than they look phenomenal. They really look phenomenal. You don't know who's going to be the leading scorer for this team every game. They have a lot of offensive weapons. Brogdon, Oladipo, Sabonis. Turner can hit some shots. And Warren is injured. Remember that. And on the defensive side of the ball, I didn't expect this Turner-Sabonis duo to work. They are basically 2 centers playing at the same time. And it works because Turner can space the floor and Sabonis can play in the 3-second space right there. And Turner is a defensive monster. The Bucks, kind of a slow start. And I really don't know why, because the last 2 seasons they have been tearing up the regular season. Number 1 seed every time, with big differences. Apart from the last seeds, it looked like they were in a class on their own. And they got destroyed in the playoffs. First by Toronto, they had a 2-0 lead. The Kawhi Leonard Raptors, I mean. Then the Raptors won 4 in a row. The Miami Heat destroyed them 4-1. So I think, and in my opinion, their team is better. With Portis, Bryn Forbes, I mentioned. Drew Holiday, obviously. DiVincenzo is still there. So I think their team is better. I think they need to give Drew Holiday some more touches. Not playing time, but touches. That's why they brought him there. I mean, they're okay right now. They won 4 of their last 5 games, but they started the season not on the best case scenario. Man, the Knicks, I mean, I think I said it last episode, but wow! I don't know if they can keep this up. Congratulations to their head coach. Yeah, not going to the Knicks again. I already did that. Now in Brooklyn, I don't think I said much about Brooklyn. So Durant is going to be out because of the health and safety protocols. And they played against Memphis, right? And they lost. Kyrie didn't play either. LeVert dropped 43 points. 43 points! They won against the Sixers And again, Kyrie was not playing. I don't know why Kyrie is not playing. He stated some personal reasons for the last 2 games. Hopefully he's not injured. I mean, I think if he was injured, the team would probably say that, but I'm just praying it's not some drama that Kyrie is waiting to boil. I don't know. Miami finally win, loss, win, loss, win. Starting to be better. Toronto, they're still 2-6. Waiting more, expecting more from this team. Detroit, every time I see that name, I'm oof. Chicago, so I really think Chicago had some close games. They lost to Golden State, I think in the 3rd game of the season or something like that, to a buzzer beater. They won. They defeated Washington by 3 points. They defeated Portland by 3 points. And then they lost to Sacramento by 4 points. And they lost to the Lakers by 2 points. So they are losing a lot or winning. They are playing a lot of balanced games, stretch games down the wire in crunch time. Levine is balling. I mean, if the Bulls somehow can end up in the top 8 seed, he would be an all-star. He's averaging 26 points. He's really scoring the ball really, really, really efficiently. Kobe White. I think this is one of the most underrated players. I mean, we don't talk much about Kobe White, and I don't know why. Because he's scoring the ball really good for this team. He's averaging 18 points, guys. He's only his 2nd season, and he's averaging 18 points. And he's getting a lot of PT. And he's contributing to the team. He's not necessarily the most efficient, but he's shooting 38% from the 3-point line. He's really good, guys. I don't know why we don't talk about him enough. In that game against the Lakers, Wendell played amazingly, 23 points. The rookie, Patrick Williams, he didn't necessarily have a good game, but you can see that he was hungry, he wanted to guard LeBron James, the best player on earth probably, or if not top 2, top 3. And this is what you want to see from a rookie, that kind of will and desire to guard the best players, to play against them, to try to drive, even though they obviously will make mistakes because they are in their first 10 games of their NBA career, and they already have to play LeBron James and James Harden and Embiid and Curry and Durant, and the list goes on and on and on. But you want to see that these rookies are not scared. This is what you want to see, man. It's beautiful. I really like this Patrick Williams guy. And he's built like, I mean, his muscles look, wow. For a rookie, wow. Watch out, Chicago, because I think you hit the jackpot. I think he will be the kind of guy like, yeah, he's not like Zion or Ja Morant, like all-stars in their first season. I know neither of those guys were, but they could have been. And he was probably not even going to win Rookie of the Year, but something, I don't know, the eyeball test, my gut, something tells me that this guy will have a successful NBA career. Now let's move to the West. Phoenix still the number 1 seed, 7-3, Lakers 7-3, Clippers 6-4, and they blew another lead. They blew another lead against the Golden State Warriors for another 6th seed. And I keep seeing these narratives on social media and posts and memes that, oh, everyone was doubting Steph Curry. No! I mean, I don't know why you would do that. I never doubted Steph Curry. I doubted the Warriors and Oubre and Wiggins. And maybe even Draymond a little bit, but he's all right. I mean, if you look at his stats, he's averaging like 3-3-3 or 4-4, something like that. I mean, not the greatest of stats, but you can see that the offense is better when he's on the court, when he's moving, when he's directing traffic, when that pick and roll with Steph Curry. Trust me, even though it may not look on the box score and the Warriors will need more production from him if they want to really make some noise this season. But don't say that Draymond Green is washed or something like that. And I didn't nearly understand that. Then Curry slander. I mean, no one said that he can't carry it. Or who said that? Who in their right mind would say that? He's still one of the top 5-6 players in the NBA. He's averaging 30 points. I never doubted Curry. I always doubted the Warriors. And rightfully so. Kelly Oubre is still a no-show as far as I'm concerned. Maybe he had one good game, but he's averaging 10 points. He averaged 19 last season. Wiseman and Eric Pascal are averaging more than him. That's not why they traded for him. I mean, probably they didn't either expected him to be like a Klay Thompson, but it doesn't look good. It really doesn't. And the Clippers blew another 22-point lead. Well, what do you know? And I don't know what happened in this game. They had a 22-point lead. Kawhi Leonard didn't have a bad game by all means, 24 points. But looking at the stats, because I didn't watch the game, but looking at the stats and the highlights, seeing that Paul George had 25 points but only 13 shots, so he was hell efficient. 70% from the field, including 2-pointers and 3-pointers. 70%. Why didn't he get more touches? I mean, Batum almost had more shots than him. And I think this is a huge question mark. If this will continue, the Clippers blowing the lead, it will become a meme. But the most important thing for me as a fan, as in trying to be analyst, let's say, is man Tyronn Lue. I mean, make the right adjustments. The Warriors are not a better team than you are. I mean, yeah, Curry had 38. He was kind of unstoppable. But other than that, no one had more than 16 points. And this is a team known for its defense. The Clippers, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Ibaka at the rim, Pat Bev. And also about the Clippers, a really slow start for Lou Will, who's only averaging 8 points. This is a huge drop. Last season he averaged 18. Now he's just at 8. And Marcus Morris isn't back, or is he? Did he came back? Yeah, he played last game against the Warriors. He only had 2 points. 1 of 7. So yeah, you want more, I think, from Lou Will. You want to make the right adjustments. Like, get Paul George the ball more, man. If he's shooting 70% from the field, get him the ball more. And regarding this narrative of Curry, what does he have to prove? He's a 3-time champion. He's a perennial all-star. He's a 2-time league MVP. He really changed the game. What more has he done to prove? Career high 62 points 3 or 4 games ago. Now drops 38. The only thing that concerns me, again, as do the Warriors really need this kind of performances to beat teams? Because this is a concern. If in order for they to beat teams, they need Curry to drop 62. Yeah, this will not happen every night. So they are right now in the 6th seed. I think I had them making the playoffs, at least the play-in. And another surprising team. And how can you not be surprised? I mean, Oklahoma City Thunder. They are 4-4. 4-4, and the thing is, wow. I mean, really, hats off to them. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, their leading scorer, 19 points. Then they have Lou Dort with 12. Baisley with 12. But look at this roster. This is not a good team. This is a team that has 17 first-round picks. They're obviously heading into a heavy rebuilding mode. But they play incredible. They're the 9th seed. Are you freaking kidding me? There are 6 teams with records that are worst. One of them is Houston. I really have no clue how Oklahoma City is that good. Hats off to them. This is a team that has not been talked enough. Because they have no all-star. Because they have no nothing. No superstar. No nothing. Only have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and some other young pieces like Lou Dort, Baisley. George Hill is a veteran point guard, but he's averaging, I think, 30-something minutes or something like that. 25, sorry. But I think that's still a lot for George Hill. But it's working! So for me, if I had to pick so far 2 surprises on each conference, obviously the Knicks in the East and Oklahoma would be on the West. Bro, the 9th seed with that team full of young players and veterans. Wow. It's really impressive. Sacramento, yeah, I think there's need to be change in Sacramento. I don't know what needs to happen, but yeah, things don't look quite as good. If you really like and if you fall in love with this Tyrese Halliburton guy, can you trade De'Aaron Fox and maybe something else? I don't know, some picks or whatever to try to land the All-Star? Would you do that if you're the Kings? I think it's an interesting question because they look pretty bad. They lost 4 out of their last 5 games. The only thing good about this team is Tyrese Halliburton, in my opinion. There is some drama with Bagley and his dad. Fox does not look like himself. Yeah, so another team that had a slow start is the Denver Nuggets, man. I mean, they're 4-5 and they went to the Western Conference Finals last season in the bubble. Do they have still that bubble hangover? I don't know. Jokic is playing wow out of his mind. Murray, unfortunately for Jamal Murray, he doesn't look like Bubble himself. I mean, Bubble Murray averaged 37 points. He's now at 21. Do they miss like Jeremy Grant that badly? I don't think that's it. I think that maybe they lose the combination of, and Harris had a drop off. I mean, you have to admit that. You have to say that Harris has a drop off. Millsap is older. I don't know if you can count on Monte Morris. JaMychal Green, yeah, I like JaMychal Green, but I don't know if he can be your 4th leading scorer. Will Barton, remember, was not in the bubble. So he should be like a nice addition to this team going into the playoffs this season. Michael Porter Jr. doesn't play necessarily that much. I don't know why. So in this game against the Sixers, the leading scorer surprisingly was Gary Harris. Murray only had 14 points. So in my opinion, the Nuggets are kind of a confusing team in the sense that, yeah, Murray and Jokic are young, but they have the playoff experience. They have what a young player needs to have. MPG, it looks like they're still protecting him a lot. And same for Bol. I mean, Bol is amazing. He can do a lot of things. Why doesn't he get more playing time? Like, play that backup center. I think he can be better than Isaiah Hartenstein. I really do think so. And RJ Hampton, I mean, the Nuggets always take those wild picks, let's say. So Michael Porter Jr. didn't play a single game in college. He literally broke his back in high school and it was bad. And they drafted him. He was the number 1 player in the country when he was in high school. Then they drafted Bol, who dropped to what, the 44th pick? He was supposed to be in the 1st round of the draft, but he also had some nasty leg injury. They draft RJ Hampton this year from Australia. Another rookie that showed some promise in Australia. He skipped college. Same as LaMelo. Now they had signed Facundo Campazzo from the EuroLeague. One of the best passers in the world. I'm not saying in the EuroLeague, in the world. Don't trust me? Go watch some highlights on YouTube. His court vision and his basketball IQ is really impressive. The only thing is that he's 5'10" or something like that. So why draft these guys with potential, with promise, if you're not playing them? I mean, Ball is really healthy, and every time he played in preseason or in something like that, he was impressive. He only played 4 games, averaging 4 minutes. And that was garbage time, when he didn't get any shot attempt. So I don't know why they're not doing this. Oh my god, Minnesota is on a 5-game losing streak. The first time I seen that they're the last. I didn't expect them to be this worse. Oh my god. No, I already talked about them, but yeah, it's actually a 7-game losing streak. Oh my god. New Orleans, you're on a 3rd-game losing streak back. Man, Zion looks unbelievable. I mean, I didn't expect that. Wait, look, the Nuggets should take Pelicans example. Yeah, they protected and babysitted and managed Zion, however you want to call him, last season. But right now, he's playing 30-something minutes a game. And I think if, God forbid, Zion Williamson gets another terrific injury or something like that, I mean, what I want to say is the risk of injuring Zion is worse, much. It's not even comparable to the risk of Ball getting injured or even Michael Porter Jr. getting injured. That's how I see things. Yeah, if you want to talk about how the Pelicans team is constructed, yeah. Blech. But they play Zion Williamson, and this is what they should do. He's a young player. If he's healthy, play him. Because he has a lot of potential. You see, Ball, he's an amazing shooter, and he's 7'10". Why not play him a little bit more? I don't know. And the last thing that I wanted to mention in this episode is the Houston Rockets. Why? So, they destroyed Orlando because the Big Three was playing. Wood, Harden, Wall. I know Harden had only 15 points, Wall only 14, but they won by 40. Let's go to the game before that. John Wall played, Harden played, Wood didn't play. They lost by 7. Then they lost against Dallas in a game where, yeah, the Big Three played this time, but some bad games from Wall and Harden. So, Harden, I don't know what's happening there, man. I mean, so weird. I mean, Harden came in the first 2 games, dropped 30-something, 40 points. However, he dropped, and now he's 21 points. The game against Dallas. Then the game against Indiana, 15 points. Then the game against Orlando, like 12 points or 15 points. What is that? He can do more than that. Much more. They are 3-4. Yeah, they're the only team, I think, that only played 7 games before they had because they had the game postponed. But I expect more of James Harden right now. I know he can do. I think it's a matter of will, not of why or when. Because he can drop 40 on every given night. Every given night. I know that. And everyone knows that. And Christian Wood really looks like an all-star. If the Rockets would probably be better, maybe he will be. John Wall also looks good. Gordon looks good. McLemore looks good. I mean, I think this team should... I don't know why they are losing. Harden needs to be more effective. Drop more points than that. And he can do that. Everyone knows that. The game against Orlando, yeah, they won by 30-something. I think they can do that in most of their games. I mean, in the games between them and team that should be defeated by the Houston Rockets, they can do that. They can do incredible things. So yeah, I'm just gonna wrap up the episode here. Thank you guys if you have been listening through this 30-something minute episode. Don't forget to follow me on Spotify to get the latest notification when I upload an episode. As I said in every other episode for this year, because there have only been 3, tennis has started. Don't think I'm gonna talk necessarily about Abu Dhabi or Antalya or I'm just waiting for Australian Open and the tournaments before Australian Open. So see you guys in the next episode. Stay healthy and peace.